Well, what is going on, guys, and welcome into the video. Well, I just want you all to know that I am frustrated with the entire stock market, and so are many of you guys out there. You're feeling it too. Great earnings, stocks go down. Record everything, it still goes down. You could solve world hunger, and it would probably still go down. No matter what anyone does, stocks just aren't going anywhere and are just going the opposite way. They're going down. Half the YouTubers out there are saying don't buy or to sell it all. And many of you have already sold or are thinking about selling, and to be honest, there is some validity to selling, so it's a discussion we need to have, and you can apply this to any stock, not just Tesla, who I will use as an example today. You can apply this to any stock in the stock market that you own. So I'll walk you through the entire discussion so you can make an informed decision in exchange for a gentle tap of that like button, and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do. Now, does this market have you up at night all worried? Do you ever think about selling because you just don't know what else to do in this crazy market? And maybe the wild swings and all the noise has you checking your phone all day long, waiting on the latest news or the latest drop in the stocks that you own. If just one of those sounds familiar, there is good news, my friend. You can sleep like a baby and not have a worry in the world for less than a meal for two at McDonald's if you join the Market Insiders private group, where you get full and direct access to me and a group of 6- and 7-figure investors, and you get access to 5 courses for free that teach you how to plan, do evaluation, build up your cash, and live for free in our new course. And you get to see my watch list with price targets, my buy and sell alerts. We got live weekly Q&As, exclusive videos, and a ton more. And I may have forgotten to take down the sale price yet on the website, so check out the pinned comment and grab it before I update the site. So let's walk through the 5 considerations I personally take into account before selling any stock. And we're going to talk about Tesla specifically in this video, but just insert any stock you are considering selling out of. They all fit into this. First, what was my long-term plan with Tesla stock? Am I making decisions based on price fluctuations, or am I making decisions based on my plan? For me, most of my buys are long-term buys, and unless something fundamentally changes with the business itself, I usually do not have any interest in selling. Price movement and buying and selling around those are trading strategies. And I'm a long-term investor, so the fact that a stock is flat or down for an extended time is not enough by itself to have me sell a stock. Tesla traded flat for 6 years. Apple has traded flat for months and even years at a time. Ditto with Amazon and almost every other stock out there. I am an investor, not a trader, so I know this is just part of the journey. A big year one year could mean a down year or flat year the next year. That's just kind of the nature of stocks. So if Tesla as a business is going like gangbusters, gaining more revenue, improving margins, growing in every way, but the stock price is down, that means I should sell? Stock price is never a good reason to sell unless you are trading. But if the stock falls and you are thinking about selling and you're not trading, a question I would ask myself is, would I be looking to sell if the stock was on a big run up instead of a big run down? If your answer is no, then I know you are not following your plan, or you didn't have one to begin with, or you didn't do your due diligence in the first place. Your upfront planning and continued refinement of your plan should guide your decisions to sell. And it may be right and fit your plan to sell, or it may be emotions talking, but only a well thought out plan done without emotions can act as kind of a great mediator kind of in there in the middle to help guide you to the right answer. It's not me, it's not any other YouTubers, it's not anyone else, it's that plan that will guide you. So on to number 2, and that would be what has actually changed with Tesla stock. Again, was there a fundamental change with the business or not? Did a key management team member leave like Elon? Did guidance on the earnings change your projections negatively? Is there new regulation that will affect the bottom line? What fundamentally changed with the business? Maybe there was a fundamental change with the stock that may warrant a deeper look and ultimately might have you considering selling the stock, but you won't know until you actually look at what has fundamentally changed, if anything. And third, if you're going to sell, what is your plan after you sell? What are you putting that money into in the first place? Okay, so you decided something did change for you fundamentally, or maybe you bought based on a hype channel, or you didn't know what you bought in the first place. There's nothing wrong with any of those, as we've all done them, but what are you going to do with the money? What is your next stock to buy? What is the valuation for that stock and your full plan for that new stock to include entry and exit points? All of that needs to be worked out, or you will be in the same spot again that you were in with that new stock because it doesn't rocket up like you think it hopefully does. Is your plan that you're going to sell and buy the dip and try to time the crash that is coming according to some folks out there? Are you maybe engaging in market timing then? Well, honestly, you won't know until you plan out what you will do with that money. And fourth, how will you react to the following scenarios? How will you react if you sell Tesla now and then it runs up to $400 again or more in the next couple of months? How will you react if the stock you bought instead is just flat during that time, or even worse, it goes down? Will you be inclined to sell that stock and then try to buy back into Tesla after it ran? How will you react if they are both down for an extended period of time? Going through these thought processes before you do anything will help prepare you to deal with and plan for it, more importantly, no matter what actually happens in the end. You will be prepared when emotions are not so high, so that when the situation actually happens, good or bad, and emotions are inevitably going to be high, you have a solid plan to look at to keep your emotions out of that decision and make the right decision for you. And finally, number 5, did you just flat out make a mistake in the first place? Look guys, we have all been there, including myself, many times. There is not a single investor ever, unless you just started and don't know you made a mistake yet, but there's not a single investor ever who has not bought a stock for the wrong reason or just made a mistake overall. Heck, I did it last year buying Sarepta, and although I made a little bit of money because I was patient, the reality is it was a total mistake from the start that I have done before. I knew better than to buy and made the mistake, but I went ahead and did it anyways. And I've been doing this for 20 plus years, guys, and I have no excuse or reason to do it. That was 100% on me. So don't be afraid or freak out when you make a mistake. We all make them. It happens to all of us. We all make them, and I know I will make them again and again. And Warren Buffett makes them every year as well, and he has forgotten more about investing than probably I can ever learn and ever know. Take responsibility for the mistake. Don't blame anyone else, and don't compound it. And then do your full due diligence if you didn't do it to begin with, so you can plan out and what you are going to do next and kind of move on from there. So am I considering selling at least some Tesla stock? Well, here are the facts, guys. I am still way up on my shares I bought 2 years ago, and I'm up on the shares I bought on the dip last summer, and I'm up on the shares that I bought at the June lows just a few months ago when everybody else was saying, don't buy, it's going to $140 per share or lower, or whatever the heck was going on back then. I'm up on all those buys. I also have no fear of Tesla actually dipping to that $140 range and me being down on some of those buys, as I will happily buy, as that is just basically stealing money to me in the long term. I have zero fear of it staying flat for an extended period of time. I saw that same show last summer where it stayed down for a long time, and I happily added more shares. Nothing changed in my mind personally about it, and I know sometimes stocks trade down or flat for months or even years, so I'm prepared for that too. And as we have seen in the past, when Tesla runs, it runs up big and it runs up fast, so I invite it to trade flat for long periods of time, as it just means more time for me to add more shares in anticipation of that big run. The good news is, in that scenario, the stock has been beaten down for so long while the business has been executing wonderfully overall. The rubber band basically is getting tighter and tighter and tighter, so when it does run again, it will be a strong run. But also remember, the rubber band can stretch a lot further than you think it can, so you have to be patient. This is where having your long-term mindset and plan pay off, so I have no desire to sell, and instead, I'm waiting for that rubber band to snap my way. So hopefully this was helpful, and if you don't know how to get a price target or how to do a valuation and want a step-by-step process for doing that, building wealth, and you want direct access to me and much more, remember to check out the pinned comment down below to become a member and at least look at everything you get. And click this video here for the stocks I'm still buying in this market, and click here for exactly what I'm doing to make huge money in this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.